Soccer Club colour. Pasca for everybody from OMG, good folks at home, it's Greg Blake on deck for the lounge room, the locker room, the lounge lizard, whatever we wish to call it. But thanks for joining us on this Thursday night, and alongside me the ever faithful team to whom we've grown so used to loving and caring about along the journey, Jay Fott and Dougie Hodgson.
Good to see you, Mr. Blake.
Good to see you, Jim.
Good to see you, Johnny. Good to see you, Johnny. How are you, boys? Good to see you, viewers at home, guys.
Yes.
We're at Chatteu de Sweetie.
Casa del Sweetie.
Can't tell anyone because everyone will want to come.
We know where we are.
We know where we are. We can't tell you guys because this place is lush. It's warm. It's elegant. It's fantastic. Look at the backdrop.
It really is. This is how the other half lives.
And you're only going to see it on the net.
Oh, no, absolutely. So look, this is fantastic, and Sweetie's here as well. A lot to talk about tonight, look, just to help us out tonight, we've actually got underneath this magnificent photograph. I'll get out of your way, but what we're going to do later on, if we get the opportunity, is develop a few strategies for Heidelberg United Alexander, or because clearly they can't get it right on the field. George Bleeping Katsakis just can't get it right on the field. So we're going to develop some strategies on the foosball. It's our equivalent. What's it our equivalent of?
The NBC chalkboard.
NBC chalkboard. So
and if we fail, guys, we've got number 2.
This is our plan B for Sunday's big. Now, I've got to tell you, on Sunday, we're going live on the internet. It's going to be particularly exciting because we'll have the A team, Jay Fott, DH and myself, calling the big game. It's 3 o'clock on Sunday at the Olympic Village. It's against the Southern Stars. I'm not even sure that's a real team. When I retired from the game 10 years ago, it didn't even exist. What is a Southern Star? Where does it come from?
Actually, I was going to say that way, Mr. Blake, but I'm tipping sales that way. It's probably north when I went to school.
It's terrific to be here. And look, our thanks to our wonderful, wonderful sponsors. Here at the Casa del Sweetie tonight, the Boost Juice franchises, the 2 in particular that we're focused on are
Doncaster and Bayside. Come and see us, you come and find me, I'll be there next week. Doncaster, guys, I am actually in working. I'll have the frock on next week.
So you can actually go in there and talk to Dougie. It's actually not worth seeing. In fact, it'll be something that will burn into your retinas, and you may never ever not be able to see it. Like
does that mean working or mean a frock?
You and a frog. It's just you in general, Dave. You're a gorgeous man. Boost Juice, of course, ANZ in Northland, Josie out there, who's just a gorgeous human being.
Get your cards with the Heidelberg.
Yes, your Heidelberg credit cards.
Alan Scott credit cards. In fact, when Sweetie's not looking, I'll nick in, I'll grab his wallet, and we'll show you a little example, and we'll nick out and we'll get a few things.
In fact, we might just take the entire wallet. We'll probably need some sort of dolly to actually get it out.
Today the card, tomorrow the whole cast of the Sweetie.
Kenesi, let's get through the sponsors, alright? You just whoops.
Somebody, there we go. Hang on, that's next. Is that George? That's Georgie. Youngsters.
What's that? Oh, yes, it's George Bleeping Katsakis.
What's he saying? Has he got the new sign?
He should shut bleeding up while we get through the bleeding sponsors, alright?
Okay, we're working on it.
George, see if we can get the team winning. Watch the show tonight because seriously, we've got some strategies that will not do you bleeping wrong.
Love you, Georgie.
We'll love you a little bit better after Sunday. Kenesi Live, fantastic. Chimmy's, Peters, of course, at Heidelberg Heights, the one and only. So Froster Group, please stop. Just stop. No more. Just John. Seriously, don't make me pull rank.
He's getting mine, he's becoming me. I'm getting better and mature as I get older.
And that's fantastic, Dougie. You're going to be a grown-up real boy one day. Prime Plastic Bags. We're having a terrific time. Prime Plastic Bags.
We love Billy.
Billy P. The plastic gang.
We love nothing plastic about Billy, except for the bags.
Well, not that we're aware of. And, of course, Black Swan Dips. We're talking about Heidelberg United Alexander. Let's give it one round.
Alexandros! Alexandros!
Yeah, I caught you out because I said one round and I gave you 2.
Hey, Mikey, I hope next door, the real reason is we haven't even got any South Melbourne supporters or Preston supporters, so this might come in handy. It might kick off here in the locker room.
This is
we do not promote violence.
No, it's not at all.
Casa de Sweetie hooligans.
No,
we're taking on the Green Street hooligans.
No, we're actually not. Courage is not one of my strong points.
I'm too old, too small now.
And it's really not worth the worry. But look, we've got a lot to talk about. Victorian Premier League season is heating up. The burners are up to about 9 or 10 now. Heidelberg United are really under the cosh, under the bush. We're going to try and dissect what happened last weekend in the 3-2 defeat. We're also going to have a look ahead to the Southern Stars game, which before I was rudely interrupted, we are going live with okay, please. Honestly, I'm having enough trouble focusing. I'm nearly 94 years of age, and I'm having trouble focusing. Sunday, Southern Stars will be live on the internet with that game. So if you can't make it to the ground, and we hope that you do, again, support. Look, honestly, we've talked about the 12-man theory, but we'd really love to see a big turnout of Alexander supporters on Sunday.
There's a big one. They're all big, as we know, but we get to we've got a hill, and let's be fair. How big or how steep is this hill becoming?
It's a critical math time, as they say. In the
mathematics, though, Blakey, we can still do it.
Yeah, I know you guys are terribly hopeful of that happening. You know my opinion on this. I think the season's done and dusted.
Listen, I agree with you, but I hope I'm wrong. For you guys listening, I hope I'm wrong. It was 2 weeks ago we spoke about it on the show, and we said, you know, we done it when we were commentating. We said that it was a 6-pointer, it was a 12-pointer, we thought, didn't we, mate?
Yep.
And I have to admit, still haven't seen any light, really.
So what we might do, Joe Fox, is we'll have a talk to you about the game against Richmond on last Friday night, which was a 3-2 loss, and I know you were there. I know you were a little bit disappointed. We'll have a talk about that. We'll have a look through last weekend's. In fact, well, that's what we'll do, is just run through last weekend's results in round 14 of the Premier League. Dougie, you want to just run us through?
City 3, Northcote City 0, Richmond 3, unfortunately. Heidelberg 2, Southern Stars 0, Bentley Greens 3, Moreland Zebras zip, Oakley Cannons 1. Love your work there, Mr. Blake. Love it. Smooth. And then a turnover for Mr. CT down at Dandy Thunder 0, Melbourne Knights 1, Green Gully 2, South Melbourne, and you laugh, you people listening, 0.
So we'll have they were the games last weekend.
You know what though, Greg? I have to admit, a lot of teams beating anyone again, which we've said all along, guys. The Premier League is open for anyone to win. So we know it's like, let's be fair. CT and Dandy Thunder, they've lost 2 now. They took 2 defeats, 1 against Melbourne Knights. Would you pick that a few weeks ago, viewers? Obviously not, but it has happened. We said it. We've seen the turn of Melbourne Knights a few weeks ago. So is things possible still? I know we're talking. We're trying to lead up the Golden, getting a little bit of strength and happiness and go for it, guys, because this week's another big one. I think JP's turned it out. How many games we need to get?
Well, again, looking at the, we'll just go through the ladder quickly, I guess.
We'll go through the ladder, and I'll just, I'll reiterate pretty much what I said last week, but yeah, run through the ladder, Jay Fox.
So 14 rounds in, so virtually 2/3 of the way through the season. Dandy Thunder are on top with 30 points. Oakley Cannons second with 26. Green Gully now move up to third with 25. Separated on goal difference, fourth is Bentley Greens with 22 points. And Northcote City round out the 5 with 22 points. And just outside the 5 is Melbourne Knights with 21. Hume City on 20. Southern Stars drop back to 8th on 19 points. In 9th position, South Melbourne on 18 points. Just ahead of goal difference of Richmond on 18 points. And in the relegation spots, 7 points behind Richmond are Moreland Zebras on 11 and Heidelberg lamenting on 5 points.
And so that's the situation after 14 rounds. We'll look ahead to round 15 and our big broadcast on Sunday of Alexander hosting the Southern Stars on Sunday at 3 o'clock at the Village. But look, honestly, you really need to turn out for the boys on Sunday. But I'll say what I said before. Now, we're talking about the possible permutations. We'll talk about the Friday game. But just quickly, I'll say, as I said before, the issue now is not whether it's mathematically possible or not. The situation is that those 3 clubs sitting outside the relegation zone now, Richmond, South Melbourne and Southern Stars, all they need to do is nail 2 wins from their last 8 games and it's season over.
Yeah. So that's not what we do.
That's not what we do.
All they have to do. So
they win 2, we need to win all 8 games remaining. And given that we've won 1 for the season, good folks at home, you do the math. Go away, get the calculator. Well, you don't do that anymore. I'm sure you've got a calculator.
On the phone, get the iPhone.
Get an iPhone, do it on the iPhone. But I'm telling you now, the season's done and dusted. I'm looking ahead. I actually was thinking this week about so many positives, even if we do go down. We'll talk about that later, but let us know, Jay Fox, please, in your own erudite and wonderfully. You know, you talk about quality football analysis and you look to places like SBS. Well, this guy This guy is SBS on
Statistics.
Red Bull. He is the man.
Statistic man to the till.
Basically, as I said a few weeks ago, the target's got to be a minimum 25 points, so that really cuts it fine. It means basically out of 24 points up for grab,
That's 20.
you've got to win 20 points out of 24. So that's a minimum 6 wins. That's going to be just
still
about nigh on impossible.
And that's
But-
still giving them 2 wins, like you said, Blake.
yeah, and that's given that the others don't win. So I was there last Friday. Amongst
Big game again, Johnny.
good turnout. It was quite an entertaining game, but again, we're on the wrong side of the result. And again, defensive lapses cost the Burgers again. Look good going forward, but then on the flip side, just 2 or 3 lapses, you know, where players didn't pick up men in the box or allowed strikers to turn in the box, and by halfway through the second half, we're 3-1 down and really pushing it uphill. And even though Nick Marinos scored a late goal, really the game was going.
Did we look now? I wasn't in the game, obviously. I was with my wife and family. But did we look like a team that was going to win that game, Johnny?
Well,
or did we look like a losing team?
It was very open. It could have gone either way. First half was chances at both ends.
Okay.
Both teams scored in the first half. Richmond scored first, and then
1-1 at half time.
Sarkis scored a wonder free kick to equalise.
Number 2.
And Heidelberg probably enjoyed their best spell straight after the main break, when the game was up for grabs.
Yep.
Really looked good going forward. Just lacked a bit of killer instinct in that front third, and then
Was there sitters? Was there just
not sitters, but
opportunities?
just half chances, and you know, where the last pass could have been a little bit more precise.
The final
or
ball.
shooting, you know, in a position where really you should be looking for a man in the box or whatever. But
This is
that was the best spell. Territorially, they were on top, but then of course Richmond weathered the storm and came back, scored a goal, and then about 5 or 10 minutes later scored a third. And again, I stress, probably just due to lack of defensive pressure there, and game over.
But,
So, John,
just one second while I'm going to get. Mate, tell me, who was the back 4?
Well, the back 4 was, you had Stefano,
Which is a young boy.
yeah, young boy.
Which we give him due.
You had Brent Griffiths,
Experience.
and you had who else did we have there? We had
The new boys signed.
new boy
Experience.
signed, a bit experienced, but again probably not gelling. And you had sort of they were playing really a back 3. There was more 3-5-2,
Okay.
and therefore I think just the lack of cohesion left the keeper a bit exposed there for the 3 goals, and of course paid dearly for it in the end.
John Folinos, Dougie Hodgson, and yours truly, Greg Blake, on deck. Brilliant. Now, are you still watching? Because if you're not, the highlight of the program, we've got One Direction coming up live here
Justin
at the mansion.
Justin Bieber's
Bieber's
outside.
there, and I believe we're going outdoors a little later on, a live outdoor arena concert starring Bon Jovi. If you believed any of the following, you'll understand why you probably need to get a life away from the internet, because none of the above going to happen. We're analysing the fortunes of Heidelberg United Alexandra in season 2012 in the Victorian Premier League, and it hasn't been good, and we thank Boost, ANZ Northland, Canisi Live, Chimmies, Petters at Heidelberg Heights, Frosted Group, Prime Plastic Bags, and of course Black Swan Dips. We thank them all most courteously for their assistance.
Tremendous.
You know what I'd like to say, though? I think we need to get...
I'd like to see Jessica Alba right over there in about the next 10 seconds.
What about Anne Hathaway?
I like to get
sorry.
Partial to her.
Anne Hathaway, if anybody wants to see something that will reinvent sexuality, you need to see, did I just say that? I did.
Yes.
You need to see Anne Hathaway in the new Batman movie. She is absolutely, utterly gorgeous, and I'm pretty sure I nearly had a heart attack on seeing her.
I'm going to make sure when I get home I might Google that,
I
just in
think
case.
she
Might have a bit
is
of a look.
so hot right now. Anne
Sure,
Hathaway,
you'd be
that's a
Robin
really
Better
good
to
choice.
play ball and see her?
I have no idea what you're talking about,
Neither
John.
do I.
But I was going to say,
Yes. Doug.
crackers and swan dip. I would like to see, next show we do, I'd like to do a little bit of swan dip and a little bit of tasting. What do you think?
I seriously
We had
have
the
no
dead weight the other week,
idea.
didn't we?
Swan dip, did you have swan dip? You
We
had
had
the
the dead
candles
weight
the other
the other
week. You nearly burned the place down.
We had a bad place.
Okay, look, we've still got Dougie's shirt to come, and he's got the Arsenal top on tonight.
Story behind this one, Blakey.
Is it a good
Yeah,
one?
It's a good one.
We'll talk about next week's games. But the
Have
one
you
thing
got
I
any
want-
in your pocket?
the one thing, please don't touch anywhere under your waistline whilst we're on air. In fact, never do it again, Doug. You're a very disturbing man. If anybody has ever seen Doug take his clothes off, and I have on a number of occasions this year, Again, something that just burns into your retinas. You can't unknow it.
The body's getting better, viewers, though. I'm working on it. Just when the guns are right, I'll have my Michael Jordan shirt on.
Now, one thing I do want to do with you, John, prior to being totally preoccupied with naked Doug Hodgson right now.
Diffuses everybody.
It's very disturbing.
It's on a loop. John, one thing I do want to glean from you, and you cast your expert eye. Give me one thing that you took away from the Richmond game and you thought, hang on, we've got a peg to hang something on here for the rest of the season. Toss them a bone, throw them a hook, toss out a line.
Simple story. You don't concede goals, you're going to win more.
That's not a positive.
Bring one home.
Give me the
I missed you. I misinterpreted the question. I do apologise. The hope is that the team is capable of scoring. They can hurt teams. Well, they can hurt teams. And they did win the game on Wednesday night, the cup match.
Which is no by the way for you people, and I mean this sincerely. I read some bits and pieces of people saying about putting reserve players in. That is actually a revenue maker for the club. They're in the semi-finals now.
Yeah.
That's a revenue. Now, don't quote me on this, but I believe it's $30,000 up for grabs for the winners. And if that's the case, get behind us, guys, because that support, that can help revenue to the club, and it'd be great to see the club go to the next stage and taking something out of this season, if anything, please.
It's a trophy. If you win a trophy, that's something they can't take.
Another thing that goes on the mantelpiece.
Another thing that goes on the mantelpiece, along with such a fine array of silverware that we've seen, of course,
and you've got to go out to every game to try and win it.
Okay. Story. Looking at these, Adrian, we've got against 32, which is the most in the league. 14 forward, which is the less in the league, with a goal difference of 18. So, being analysis, I'm thinking I found the problem.
Yeah.
We're not scoring enough goals, and we're conceding too many. Okay.
All right,
hence we're on the bottom.
Well, let's look ahead to the weekend to come before.
Big weekend, though, Blakey. Big weekend.
And it is a huge weekend. Now, I've got, as I said, I want to throw this out to you guys, the experts. I've got a few positives that I think could come. I'm perfectly prepared to say that I'm resigned to seeing this great club going down for just the second time in its history to the lower division. But I think there's some good things to be had out of it, and I'll run this by. Let's look. If you understood that, you're a better man than me. But at least it's still more entertaining than that dreary Facebook, honestly. If you've got friends, the theory is it's a mathematical equation. If the more friends you have on Facebook, the less people you interact with in real life. I firmly believe that.
I've only got one friend on Facebook.
Well, that's splendid, Doug. It's good of you. My name's Doug, and I have one
friend.
Let's have a look through these round 15 games. Kicking off on the Friday night, we'll get selections from you, gentlemen. Bentley Green. Let's do. Actually, you do selections, Dougie, because you're a good judge. And Jake, I want you to tell me the result that we best need. Okay? So there you go. There's your challenge, because I know you're very mathematically minded. Bentley Greens, of course, against Hume City. That's at Kingston Heath.
That's going to be a draw
on the Friday night. Dougie says a draw. What do we need?
Probably as good as well.
That'll be a draw, that one.
Okay, Oakley Cannons against Green Gully. That's at the Jack Edwards, also on Friday evening. Where's that going to go, Dougie?
Green Gully 2-1.
And what do we need?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
It's irrelevant for our purposes.
This one certainly does. South Melbourne against Richmond. That is also on Friday night at the Lakeside Stadium. And I'm also thinking here too, every other game of the round is on Friday or Saturday, which means by Sunday night we'll have a much better guide, or Sunday afternoon a much better guide to what's required, which is a stupid thing to say when you think about it, what's required as a victory. But it'll give us a bit better picture.
I'm hoping a draw. We need a draw, and I know we do need a draw, but I reckon saying that though, I think South's going to tip Richmond probably 1-0.
And what do we
draw probably is a better result, but yeah, it's one of those ones where you'd hope neither side does any points, but it's like
don't turn up, won't you? We'll take points off you.
Yeah, look, I'm at,
hang on, Blake.
If you're from South Melbourne or Richmond, I've made a horrible error. This game isn't actually being played till Monday night, and it's out at the West. Yeah, that's the one.
Hey, by the way.
Yes.
And this is not very nice of me, guys.
Couldn't expect
if we had sending offs, if we had pitch invasion?
Oh no, we don't.
We don't like that, but they're minus points.
The FFP has a zero tolerance policy.
Trust me, Danny Thunder, they wore it a couple of times when I was there a few years ago.
We need actually probably both clubs to play ineligible players.
Yes.
That would be
That would be better, that's better. That's what we're looking for, guys. Love it.
So if you can just field somebody that if somebody rocks up and says, look, can I have a game for South Melbourne at the
Give me a shirt.
Be a little bit generous of spirit at this time.
Give me some boots.
Give him some boots, get him out on the paddock. Northcote City hosts the Melbourne Knights. Stop wielding your bat. You were told that many times when you were a youngster. Northcote City hosts the Melbourne Knights.
I'm going for Melbourne Knights.
That's on Saturday afternoon.
Sorry, me great friends, but the Melbourne Knights is going to get up and beat Northcote. Sorry, the guys at Northcote, because I do watch
probably a draw suits us better, but it's, you know, I don't think either of those two sides are likely for relegation.
I think it's Melbourne Knights. I think it's just going to come. They're starting to come good.
Well, you're looking at the ladder too. Having said that, Melbourne Knights the only team that haven't had a draw this season, so you'd think there'd be a result either way.
And of course, also on Saturday, we need Dandenong Thunder, I think, to bounce back to some form against the Moreland Zebras. Is at the George Andrews Reserve at 7 o'clock.
CT, we need you to thump them good, and good luck. Sorry, guys at Moreland, but just the way the table's looking, we just unlucky.
Well, this is not the Moreland locker room.
No, so we're thumping.
We do not
Yeah, okay, there you go. There you go.
I hope you cry like babies, and I hope you get your asses tanned.
And CT knocks about 30 past you.
There you go,
There
Joe
you go.
Colour.
There's Joe Pellicini's there.
He's coaching.
He is.
I like you, JP.
And finally, of course, our game, and we all know the result that we want there. So let me...
1-0 will do. Let's be fair, goal difference ain't going to matter where I'm looking. Just 1-0 will do, guys.
Yep.
Clean sheet,
A lazy 6-0 wouldn't go straight.
It was interesting you mentioned the clean sheet thing, because this is something I want to really question you about. But look, first of all, just don't forget, please, thanks to Boost Juice, ANZ Northland, Kinesi Live, Chimmy's, Petters at Heidelberg Heights, I'm building up here, Froster Group, Prime Plastic Bags, and Black Swan Dips. We will be bringing that game live on Sunday, 3 o'clock at the Olympic Village. Heidelberg United, Alexander, Southern Stars. Let's give them some.
Alexandros! Alexandros!
Beautiful boys.
And don't forget, 12:30 before the game.
Me, you, and the three amigos. The three amigos going to be there again.
Oh, you'll be hosting that.
I wasn't told about this.
This is all time that we are there.
Let us know what's
Pre-match function that Dougie has kindly agreed to be the MC, the star of the show, regaling us
Wonderful.
with all his
For the help from you too, of course.
the footballing
Wonderful.
tales that he's got to
There will
tell
be,
us.
guys, if you are going to come on, I mean it, there will be no hold bars, there'll be talk, there'll be laugh, there'll be banter. Dougie will tell you the truth. There won't be coming around the corner, it'll be facts and fiction, and you'll get the whole lot.
I really want the truth about the story about you getting towed up by, who was it, Franny?
Francis, no, you pushed me over. Francis,
Oh, look at me, Doug Hodgson, big man. Francis Awara TV,
In
man,
seriousness,
gone.
I should point out, 12:30 at the VIP room at the ground. At $40 will get you entry to the game, entry to the VIP room, nibbles, food, drinks, wonderful tales by Dougie, and as a special treat,
The big one, Blakey, the big one.
special auction item. Whoever does the highest bid gets to act as special comments man
With me and you.
with you and the Blakester.
Me and the Blakester. The Dukes and the Blakester.
Freaking fantastic, eh?
We're there.
And again, I knew nothing about this, so it sounds like a
I told
fantastic
you, we
concept.
go.
I never take any notice of anything.
But guys, if you can, you want to support the club,
It's all
come
about-
along. Even if you don't want to listen to me, just come, have some nibbles, have a few drinks, speak to your mates, watch a great result, because we are going to win. And then the winner, the auction, in between me and the Blakester.
It's just going to
And
be bigger than
bigger
Ben Hur
bigger
or
than
Ben
Ben.
Hentway.
I'm going off again.
Okay, there are a couple of points, and we spoke about the cup run, which is terrific, and we spoke last week about the impassioned George Bleeping Katsakis' pre-game speech in that cup game. Get out there and bleep and do this, and bleep, which was just wonderful, inspirational.
Well, must have done wonders at half time because they got up and won 2-1.
Got up and came from behind and won the game, which was fantastic. But
That was
the
a
cup
week
run,
before, Johnny.
That was the
Which
night. That was the night we did the show last week.
we're all very old. It could have been. It's one random night quite recently. It was very, very cold. But anyway, the point being that the cup run, if they sustain the cup run, they get a nice booty of, I think it's
30K, I believe.
At the end of the
Please give me
season.
the
Why
one.
not?
I've got to pick you up on this cup run. Here's how cosmically irrelevant the FFB can be at times. Cup run, isn't it supposed to be knockout?
Yes.
Right. So up until now it's been knockout. So now we're up to this game. We've beaten the Melbourne Knights 2-1. Guess what happens now? The next round.
Got 4 teams left.
We've got
correct?
6 teams left. 2
Semi-finals.
groups of 3.
Hang on.
2 groups
Hang
of
on,
3.
Sweetie's giving us some hand signals here in a
We've
moment.
got 2 groups of 3 in each group, yes.
2 groups of 4.
2 groups of 4.
So there's 6
no,
teams left. Sorry.
Oh, well, I mean, look, if you're from the...
There's 6 teams left.
There's 6 teams
I
left.
kid you
Like
not.
one group of 4 and one
We're
group
only
of
here.
Anyway, no,
Two groups of 3.
Jade, spit it.
One,
While we're young.
one
You can do
each.
this.
One each. You play each team one, and the top 2 go through to the semi-final.
Well, congratulations. The stupidest
No, we're not into the semi-finals now.
It's not, no.
I've got some great
Anyway.
news for you. Can I bring this in?
Please.
Bayside, down in the wilderness where I live. It starts this week. You heard it live. Remember this? You heard it live in the locker room with the Flakester and Johnster and the Dukester. Bayside this week, cups. So the rules used to be you played extra time after the final whistle and then the penalties, correct?
Right, yes.
But they have changed the laws. First time in history, this weekend, the law it goes this, they play the game. 90 minutes, bang, they go straight into penalties. No extra time. In the penalties, there must be a winner on the penalties. So that means it can go 6-5. Say the Blakesters team win it. Then they go and play extra time. And obviously to get the result of the game, which means 2 teams, they don't sit back. If you've just lost the penalties, if at the extra time it's 0-0, the team that won the penalties have won the game. So what that's going to do, you've heard it live, it's going to bring the team who's lost the penalties, let's go and have a crack. Throw the teams up, so there's going to be, here we come. So this could be taken off, I think, worldwide. But anyway, it's down in the Bayside, into the wilderness with us, and you heard it live.
It's worth trying.
What do you think?
If it works.
You know what's... And look, I see...
I'm enthusiastic about it, as you can tell.
But you know what's worth trying? Play the bloody game to the bloody rules till somebody bloody wins. Penalties is not football.
I
That's
agree
all
with
I've
that.
got to
I
say.
agree with that, mate.
Now-
It's not a nice way to win a game.
Golden goals.
It's
Golden
golden
goal.
goal, thank you.
Golden
Okay.
goals.
So the positive sides, if and when Alexander go down, twofold, well probably threefold, is number one, if we can get the cup run going, if we can work out the cup, you've got a nice little kitty financially going into next year. I am of the understanding, and something you mentioned to me as well, that going down a division may not hurt perhaps at the box office and support-wise, because there's a lot of up-and-coming clubs, new clubs, developing clubs that have huge, significant supporter bases. That would just say a lot of travelling.
There's more clubs now, I'll tell you now, there's more clubs in the first division. I go and watch, if I watch Glen Warren or Mornington or Frankston Strikers down that area, there's more clubs, Frankston Pines, there's more supporters, no disrespect towards Richmond.
That is
Green Gully,
that is
not a lot
true.
of following. So there's 2 clubs that can put bums on seats. So financially, the teams in Frankston and that area are better off playing in the first division than the Premier League financially for gate money and revenue.
Well, in theory too, you probably, if you go down a division, you're less likely to be having higher wages, of course.
Well, there you go. So there you've got some positives, and the
But you
last
can build a
one,
side.
yep. And the last one, Dougie, I really want to bring this up to you. It was fascinating before we came on here tonight. We do have a live away from the lounge room. By the way, good folks at home. And you were talking about we need not to concede goals, which is fair enough. But what I actually like about the precarious situation of Alexander at the moment is that it almost psychologically, instead of hanging on to this ridiculous premise that we are going to survive, surely at this point, a prudent, wise coach would say, well, hang on a minute, it's pointless strategically to try and... Let's take the handbrake off and attack each game.
Must win, don't we?
Yeah, as a must win. Forget about trying to defend. It doesn't matter if you defend a 0 or draws or 1 inch. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
The only thing I'll say to that, and this is not going to go, Georgie, and this is an opinion of mine, Georgie, so don't take it as having a crack at your brother. If I was coaching, I would have done it different, as you would have. If you're going to lose 1-0, you might as well lose 2. You might as well lose 3 or 4. It doesn't really matter, okay? It doesn't look great on pen and paper, but we need to win. I would have played a different system, but that's just me. You know, but to be fair, George, he's came in, he's had a look, and the capital he's got. But at the end of the day, I would have went 3 up front.
And I can imagine George Kataka sitting at home.
No, you're
watching
waiting
that going, bleeping hell, don't bleep it, Arch, he can go and get bleeped. What would he bleeping know?
But that's just me.
Dougie, but in saying that, you've got to have 3 decent players up front. I mean, players that can actually that look like they can score. To me, my way of thinking, the only one that looks like a predator up there is Nicky Marinos.
Hang on, I'll go back another one. We'll put it in. You've got 3 whippets, mate. As a defender, and I'm going to talk about me shirt. Ian Wright running at me. And Ian Wright running at me, 45,000 people. Don't you think I like it? My cheeks are going beep, beep, beep. We do not like people running at us. When you've got people that are quick, spirit, test them. Defenders don't like their backs to goals.
And if you're a player, I'm just, again, the psychology of the game fascinates me, but if you're a player and all of a sudden, instead of setting into a particular team structure that's so, devoted to, instead of saying, hey, back yourself. Have a crack, show some skills. Yep. See what you've got. Back yourself against people. It doesn't matter now.
Show your ability.
It doesn't matter now. So
believe in yourself and show. But I agree with you. What you're trying to say is a cattle. Johnny, there's move for man. But what I'm saying is you might as well lose 2, 5, 6. It doesn't matter because we need 3 points. But don't get me wrong, George, and I mean this sincerely, it's easy for me because I'm sitting in the grandstand, mate.
No, he's already turned. He just turned off into the green. Like, you can go and get bleeped, said George.
George knows that's not true.
Gone off to Scots.
All most respect. He's done all right so far. He's turned them around to where they were.
I knew George. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's a whole another story.
No, we'll get George on the show. We'll get George on the show.
We really need a guest because sadly I'm actually tiring of both of you. And I say that with now, Anne Hathaway would be a splendid guest. We've gotten through quite a bit tonight from Casa del Sweetie, which
we must thank.
It's got the
Mr. and Mrs. Sweetie.
Mr. and Mrs. Sweetie, we do thank you for your premises. It is lovely on board me here. I'm actually quite comfortable in my t-shirt.
And it's so rare. There's something so rare about walking into a home which actually reeks of wealth. Do you know what I mean? The stench of excess.
I'm just looking on behind here. Look behind here.
I know.
I know, right? Hey, we can't think on the way out, grandmother.
So before we go, just a couple of quick reminders, and then Sunday.
Don't forget the function, 12:30.
Guys, Blakey, we need to push it because honestly, we need you guys there.
Yes,
$40, refreshments, alcohol, game, out of the cold, watching the game. Me and Blake, whoever's going to win it, is going to come and share the special comments for me and you, and we're going to have a great time, great stories and great fun with great people. Make sure you're there. 12:30?
Absolutely. So if you're thinking of having a Thai massage, just forego the opportunity this week and
$40.
Spend your $40 on Sunday. How I know a Thai massage is $40.
You get a verbal massage from Dougie.
It's none of your business.
Right. Will be a good time.
I don't want Doug to massage anything.
No, verbally.
Anything, just anything. Doug and massage.
A mental massage.
I don't care. Do you understand, John? Now, you've been very pleasant company tonight. Don't push it. Don't forget everybody on Sunday. There'll be, I'll tell you what, everybody that's watching this will hit Anne Hathaway on Google as soon as we finish. Now, we've got to get through this. Thanks again to our sponsors. Don't forget the big function on Sundays these guys have mentioned. Also, don't forget live broadcast on the internet of the Heidelberg United Alexander game against the team that's probably not a real team. That sounds like the Southern
Shooting Stars.
Who really cares?
It's like they're falling stars.
Do we know the manager of that one?
Hennessy?
Mr. Dean Hennessy will be coming back. Dino, you see Dino, lovely man.
One quick one before we do Dougie's shirt.
Alessandros!
We will end the show as we always do on this Thursday night. Once again, thanks for your company. Dougie's shirt.
This one here, guys, this one's, can you see that? God bless.
Best wishes.
Best wishes, 185. Ian Wright, 185 goals. So Queensland super striker that he was. This one's got a bit of ability of a story playing against
185 goals against you.
185, no, I was actually thinking about that Sweetie. 185, in fact, he didn't score any against me.
Sweetie doing jokes.
Hey, I was only Sweetie straight in there. Well, you think it was funny? Well, it was true. Anyway, here's the story. We've gone on Arsenal, 45,000 people in Highbury. I've gone in there. I'm in the change rooms. The gaffer's turned around, the gaffer, Howard Kendall. He said, Dukes, he said, have you felt the tiles? Put your hands on the tiles. Heated tiles under floor heating in the old Highbury ground.
No, I think they've actually got it here in the...
They've got it here. This we've got here. We've got it here. That's nice on my bed. Hey, I've got my socks on. Lovely ones. But anyway, played. The gaffers, we've gone 1-0 down. 1-0 down.
Who scored? Not Ian Wright.
Actually, to be fair, That was number 184. That was the 184. Tony Adams, Paul Mercer, Ian Wright, who's a goalkeeper, big goalkeeper for...
Not Pat Jennings, though. That was
no, there was one before. Merson. Anyway, Seaman. So Bull, so some big names in there. Howard Kendall turns around, he says to me, he says, Dougie, he says, have you ever played up front? And me being a striker, played up front, maybe not 184, but 185, it might have been just a 1. Turned around and said, Gaffer, put me on and I'll score 3. And anyway, he said, right, strip me down, I'm warmed up, ready to go. And he said, son, I said, what? He said, sit down. We've gone up that end and scored. So he's gone 1-1. I'm all ready to go and Highbury, 25, 23, 34 to go. I'm ready to go, I'm pumped. And then he's gone, sit down, son. Then he's turned around and went, in fact, no, let's lock shop. So with 30 minutes to go, I've gone on a lock shop. And I've got some good footage, you know, and I've still got it there. Balls came over. And let's be fair, my second touch as a youngster, or when I was a bit playing in Heidelberg days, was normally a tackle. Okay? It did improve as I got better. So the balls came over, brought it down. What's the fetlock? 1, Ian Wright, Paul Merson, in between, played it, little bit of shimmy, gone up, 10 minutes to go, and I'm up there on my own. I'm dribbled, I've got where do I go, just kick it out and back. But great game, great memories, and then you'll hear this name, Carl Gilder.
Yes.
I mean, Carl Gilder, pass from the past. Here I am with 1-1. We've got 1-1 return leg, and this is a true story. Carl destroyed Tony Adams. We played the return leg, we beat Arsenal 1-0, and to them we played against Aston Villa, 5th round of the FA Cup, which the next day I got a new contract, a new 2-year deal at Sheffield United. There was Milosevic, there was Dwight York, name dropping Blakey, so forget about that, that'll be another shirt. Anyway, turn around, and the bloke walks in, he's got this hat on, like a Salvation Army, like all the suit and everything else. He walks up, he says, Mr. Hodgson. I thought, geez, not my time to die again. I'm not ready to go yet. I said, yeah, mate, and I've got my towel. Bit better body, just so you got an image. So I know you're not following the horror images you've got at the moment.
They really, really are.
And he said, yep. So I walked up, put my head out, and then guess who was there? Carl Gilder. Didn't know he was in the country, didn't know, and he's looked up and he's on, he was in the grandstand, he's gone, and coming on for Sheffield United's Doug Hodgson, he's next to me, he's coming, that's me mate, mate. So the true story is I took Carl Gilder and his cousin upstairs into the players' room, and he was an Arsenal supporter, so a lot of memories with this shirt, guys.
Good story, Dougie. And if you don't know Carl Gilder, he was a champion of the game in the 70s, 80s. Have a look up on the internet and get his record. He's a terrific player.
Scored some goals, didn't he? Scored some goals.
I always remember Carl Gilder and Noel Mitten playing for Sunshine George Cross.
Yes.
Anyway.
What about man Mick McGorry?
Yes.
So was it 3-0? Yes.
Look, we really thank you for watching. Don't forget to support the boys on Sunday, both the VIP.
Come and hear their stories, Blakey.
And to the game, Doug will tell the same stories as he's told over and over again. And they honestly, they never lack polish, Doug. I've lost no more respect for you than I had before. Joe Fott, you redefine sexuality on every level.
And Hathaway.
And I just look forward to seeing you all on Sunday.
All right, see you on the live broadcast. See you on the live group. Thanks to Sweetie. Thanks everyone. See you next week.
Bye.